Zombie apocalypse.
How's it going, everybody? This is Tyler Drabo. Hope you're having another great day, and welcome back to another video. Okay, so I was really contemplating whether or not I really wanted to talk about this topic in this video because, as you all know, I'm somebody that's not into politics. I really don't like talking about it because it's really a controversial and sensitive thing to talk about. But, this was a couple of very interesting events that I took part of a couple years ago that I felt like, why not just talk about it here in this video? Because they were both really interesting to me. So a couple years ago, around this time, there were two town halls that were taking place in my state of New Jersey, and both of them were taking place at my old community college at Union County College. One of them was with a few state senators here in our state, and the other was with an actual United States representative. And I decided I would take part in both of them and see what would happen, and to be honest with you, it was a really interesting experience at both of those town halls, and I felt like that I really want to talk about it here in this video. So this video is going to be talking about both of those town halls, my experience there with what happened there, why I decided to take part in those town halls as a whole. Because as I've mentioned before, as somebody that's not into politics, there's always still some things that I really want to explore because, I always want to try to find something new. So this video is going to be talking about why I chose to go to those town halls and really just why I found both of them interesting in the first place. So the first town hall actually took place on Valentine's Day, and it took place at Union County College. At the time there, I was actually there helping out with my friends at the PTK RSI chapter with a blood drive that they were doing, and I actually wasn't planning on going to that town hall because I actually had a class that night, but that obviously ended up being canceled, and really because of that I had nothing going on that night otherwise. So I thought, why not go there and check it out and see what it's all about. And so this town hall featured a whole bunch of state senators, some of them familiar faces, and I know that Stephen Sweeney was one of them. He was actually the president of the Senate. I also saw Joseph Crine there. He is actually a state senator in Union, which is right next to Springfield, so it was nice to see him there. I also saw Tom Kean Jr. He was also the Senate minority leader for the state of New Jersey at the time, and there were also a couple other state senators there. I really don't remember who those two were, but they were the ones that were taking part in this town hall, and there were about 400 or 500 other people there that were at the town hall to meet with these state senators. And really, it was really a big event because obviously, this town hall, when you're meeting with some of the top politicians in the state of New Jersey, you're going to draw a lot of people in, and obviously because of that, that's what's going to make these conversations a lot more fluid and obviously a lot more interesting in the end. And a lot of times a little bit more dialogue, a little more heated, stuff like that. And this town hall was definitely pretty heated. Obviously some of these state senators there were really controversial, and there were a lot of things that were going on there that some of the citizens there did not like. And so obviously these people that were there at the town hall, they were allowed to voice their concerns with some of these state senators. However, it was really heated because a lot of times when the state senators were trying to speak about something, a lot of times some of the other volunteers that took part in this town hall, they were constantly interrupting them and voicing their concerns about something because they were not happy with something about what they were doing, obviously. And at times, it looked like this town hall was going sideways, to be honest with you. But yeah, these people, they were still allowed to be able to talk about their concerns, talk about some things, and some of the things that we were talking about were like infrastructure, budget, we were talking about a little bit about recreation, and some of the issues with education in the state of New Jersey as a whole. So there were a whole wide range of topics that we were still get to cover at this town hall in particular. And yeah, so this town hall was actually really interesting because, like I said, it was really heated. It was a lot back and forth and a lot of banter at the time from some of the people that were at the town hall with these state senators because, obviously these state senators, these are the ones that really implement what the governor of New Jersey does here in our state. And, obviously we need that dialogue to be able to speak with these state senators. That way they know exactly what they can do to help make the state better. But obviously it was really interesting to take part of that though because, getting to see up close and personal, what the people at the state were able to talk about with these state senators, talk about what they were concerned about and why they were voicing their concerns like this in the first place. Obviously it was really interesting to see that kind of dialogue and to see exactly, why politics politics in the state of New Jersey is such a controversial thing today. And obviously, despite all of that, it was still an interesting and fun experience for me to take part of, because this was my first town hall that I ever took part of in politics, and it was really an interesting experience nonetheless. And then the second town hall that I took part of took place in late March, the very next month, once again at Union County College, and this one took place with an actual United States representative. For those that don't know, Springfield, New Jersey is in the 7th Congressional District of New Jersey, and the representative for that district is Representative Tom Malinowski. He was actually in his first term as a U.S. representative at the time, and he decided to make that place his first town hall with us here in our district, just to get his feet wet and to talk to us a little bit about what he was doing in the national level right now, and allow us to talk to him about a few topics in general. And like the town hall in the first one, this one, it was on a Saturday morning, and I really had nothing going on at the time, so I decided, hey, it was nice to get to meet an actual national U.S. representative, so I thought, why not go back to UCC again and take part in that one and see where that goes from there. And this one was actually a lot more tamer, there was a lot more dialogue that was going on there, and a lot of us were able to get to ask some of our questions there, and obviously some of those topics, were ranging from national level like education, infrastructure, and some of the other things that were related to what was going on in the state town hall that was also happening at a national level. We were going to talk about that a little bit, and there were also a lot of questions about impeachment as well at the time, because obviously, as we all know, the Democrats had taken back the House the previous election at that time, and there was a lot of questions about whether they were going to impeach the now former president, who I will not bring up here in this video or my channel, because those who that know me, you should probably know exactly who my opinions are about our former president right now. And this one was actually pretty funny, because unlike in the first town hall, in which I really didn't ask a question, this one I actually did try to ask a question to Representative Malinowski. It was mainly going to be about education and whether or not we could potentially get no debt or free college tuition here in the state of New Jersey in the near future. And I didn't realize this until the very end, but I was actually sitting in the press section, which was actually at the front row of the room that we were taking part in. One of Representative Malinowski's staff members had to come see me at the very end to let me know that I was actually sitting in the press section, and I was not a member of the press. I was just a spectator at the time that just wanted to ask him something, and I'm going to be honest with you, I wish I was getting advance notice at the time that I was not supposed to be sitting there, because of that, I was not able to ask my question to him. So yeah, stupid of me. I was sitting in the press section there when I wasn't supposed to, but hey, it was still a pleasant experience nonetheless. So yeah, getting to take part in both those town halls, there was a lot of comparisons and contrasts to both of them. The first one was state senators, obviously, there was a lot of real banter, a lot of back and forth, and there was a lot of heated discussion, with what was happening in the state at the time, a lot of voicing their concerns about a whole bunch of things. But the second town hall, it was a little tamer, obviously. Like I said, it was with a national politician, and we were able to get to speak to a little bit about some of the things that were happening in the national level, and just see what we can do to help make both the state and our country a little bit better. And I found this experience with both these town halls to be really interesting, because obviously, as we all know, town halls are really a place where we all get a chance to voice our concerns to politicians, whether it's state or national level politicians. And it's really interesting to see how some of the dialogue takes place there, because there are times where everything's going smoothly in the state, and it can end up going like the second town hall where everything's going well, everybody gets a chance to ask their questions. And there could be times where, like this very first town hall I was there at, things may be getting a little heated. There are things that are happening in the state or in the country that we do not like, and some of us might get upset about that, and we confront our state senators about that. And that happens quite a bit in town halls. So to get to see that experience up close and personal at both these town halls, and to see how these state senators and politicians got to interact with their constituents, it was a really interesting thing for me to experience, because it allowed me to get to learn more about how these people interact with them, and just allow them to, even though if they're not in the same political identity that they are personally, allow them to really speak to them, allow them to share their ideas and some of what they would like for them to do, so that way they can find a way to help make things better in the state and the country as a whole. So it was really an interesting experience to get to take part, because it allowed me to learn more about why these town halls are so important, and just really become more involved in the political world as a whole, even when I'm not interested in talking about it that much. And this I actually found pretty weird, because obviously, as we all know, Tom Kean Jr., who was the minority leader of the state senate and Representative Malinowski, those two would go up against each other in the 7th Congressional District election in our state of New Jersey the very next year in November, which was really interesting to me. Obviously, Malinowski ended up winning that one, and there's a lot of rumors, obviously, with Kane retiring from the state senate, that the both of them could go up against each other again this upcoming election in 2022. But yeah, we'll see exactly what happens up there. But yeah, obviously, like I said, politics is something that I really don't like to devolve in. It's something that I don't like talking about, but I felt like that I wanted to go to these town halls because I really want to explore, try to find something new to do, and see something that I really haven't had a chance to actually see up close and personal before. And while it was a little bit heated at times and maybe a little confusing, it was still a really pleasant experience because it allowed me to learn more about the political world that I hadn't learned before and really become a more important member of the society at my state as well. And so my moral story is, and this is especially going to people that are like me or not into politics, if there's still a town hall or maybe a community event that's related to politics that's happening, if you ever get a chance or an opportunity to do so, hey, I would go ahead and take advantage of it because, there's always something that you can do to become a more important member of the world of politics, obviously, whether it's through volunteering community events or holding these town halls, or hey, maybe even holding a future career in politics in general. There's always something out there for everybody to experience that they could even try in the near future. So, if there is an opportunity like this in the future, I definitely would go ahead and take advantage of it because, there's always something new out there, especially in the world of politics, that everybody has a chance to take part of in. And yeah, it was a very interesting experience to take part in both those town halls. And, obviously, if there's another one in the near future at my district, whether it's with state senators or Malinowski, or whether it's one of the U.S. senators or even the governor of New Jersey, nonetheless, hey, if there's an opportunity for me in the near future to do so, I'll be more than happy to take advantage of it because, it's an experience that I will remember for the rest of my life and, something that I would definitely look into doing again in the near future. Okay, so I'm really contemplating whether or not I should make a video next week. Obviously, as we all know, next weekend is Easter weekend and a whole lot of businesses and stores are closed next weekend. Everybody's at home. We were doing nothing, just celebrating Easter with their friends and family. So I'm really not so sure if I really want to make a video next week. However, keep your eye on your social media. I will let you guys know from there regarding what's going to happen next week. However, I still got a lot more content planned in the near future and a bunch of new things that I want to talk about, and I really look forward to getting to speak to you about that. So please, as always, make sure you are following my channel so you get to see all of my content because I still got a lot of things planned in the near future. So stay tuned. I will let you guys know whether or not there will be a video next week. Otherwise, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed it. As always, if you'd like to see more of my content, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when my latest video is released. As always, be sure to comment below on what suggestions you have for my future videos, whether it's through vlogs, projects, challenges, you name it. Leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to make them. As always, follow me on my social media. All the links are in the description below. That's going to do it for this video. Hope you're having another great day. And as always, I hope to see all of you again in another video very soon. So long, everybody.